How good is Cole Palmer?
Oh, he's a genius. The boy is a genius. An astonishing goal.
He's a joy to watch because he sees a pass.
Palmer, can he find room for a shot? He's fed it through for Jackson.
He can nick a goal as well.
This is gone. Taken quickly. Palmer driving it. It's in. It's in for 4-3.
What a boy.
He's unreal.
What a boy.
What a player.
Honestly,
He's
this
a
kid is
scandal.
off the clock.
I know.
I think he's the best player in the Premier League. I do.
Lovely nutmeg on Branthwaite from Palmer. Little flick as well for Jackson. Palmer's got it back. Oh my goodness me. Cole Palmer, what have you done now?
Yeah, that's why they call him Cold Palmer, innit?
Cole Palmer is the new Prince of Chelsea. He is the Blues' first superstar since the departure of Eden Hazard and Frank Lampard. After $1 billion spent on players, Palmer has been the signing that has stood out the most.
I'm Enzo Maresca afterwards saying he's the best player in the Premier League. Is he right?
He's not far off.
He has been the shining point in a young Chelsea team that is still developing. Who knows where the club would have been if Palmer hadn't come up big time and time again. But the question remains, how did Cole Palmer go from being a player not considered good enough to start at Manchester City to becoming one of the very best players in the entire league?
Has it made you at all think you made a mistake letting him go?
No. In 2024, Palmer had 22 goals and 11 assists as he helped Chelsea clinch European football. He had the most goals in a Chelsea debut season, became the third Chelsea player ever to get 20 goals and 10 assists, first Chelsea player with multiple hat-tricks, and the first Chelsea player to get double-digit goals and assists in his first season. The run of games he went on from March to the end of April was crazy. He scored and assisted in a 3-2 win against Newcastle. The next game, he scored both of Chelsea's goals as they drew Burnley. Then the 22-year-old put on a masterclass against Manchester United, scoring a hat-trick in a 4-3 win. Then just a few weeks later, scored 4 goals, which included a perfect hat-trick against Everton in a dominant 6-0 win. Every time it seemed like Chelsea was about to lose, Palmer would put the team on his back. The one game he missed due to being ill, Chelsea was spanked by Arsenal 5-0. There is a reason he was awarded the Premier League Young Player of the Year. He silenced anybody that thought he was a one-season wonder by continuing his good form into 2025. People might look at the amount of penalties he scored and think his numbers are inflated, but from watching him play, he always passes the eye test. The stats don't even showcase the amount of times he has made the right decision on the ball or the amount of chances he has created that others have missed. He is one of those players where every time he gets the ball, you know something magical is going to happen. He is able to create something out of nothing, and that is the exact quality that superstars have. It almost makes you forget that at one point, there were doubts that Palmer would ever make it to the top level of football. At the age of 14, he faced concerns that his physique was too thin. At the age of 16, academy coaches at Manchester City wanted to release him, but academy director Jason Wilcox rejected their decision. He had faith that the young Englishman just needed time to develop. Palmer's passion for football was too large to let doubters bring him down. From playing in the parks of Wythenshawe to watching his dad play for Black Boy FC, Palmer was getting a footballing education from every aspect of life. Wilcox's decision ended up being a great decision as Palmer grew to 6'2", but kept his amazing vision and awareness that he relied on when he was smaller. That silky touch that he had with his left foot never left either. Wilcox made another great decision when he kept Palmer for another year to develop with the under-18s. They felt that that would help his development, even though Palmer's fellow teammates like Tommy Doyle and Taylor Hardwood-Bellis all moved up to the under-21s. In 14 appearances with the under-18s, Palmer had 15 goals and 5 assists. Despite playing in one of the most talented academies in the world, he still looked a level above everyone else. His technical ability and high footballing IQ showed as he led the under-18s to the league and FA Youth Cup. The next season, he had 13 goals and 6 assists in the Premier League too. While his rise through the youth ranks was meteoric, he would have to wait to get his opportunity with the first team. He struggled to break in as he was competing against Mahrez and Bernardo Silva on the right wing to get playing time, not to mention guys like De Bruyne and Foden as well. Combine the insane amount of talent Manchester City had with Pep's perfectionist attitude, and it makes sense that he wasn't one of the first names on the team sheet. Palmer ended up making his first team debut for City against Burnley in the 4th round of the EFL Cup. He would have to wait a full year to get his first goal, scoring against Wycombe Wanderers in the EFL Cup. Then in the next month, Palmer did something crazy. He made an appearance in the Premier League for the first team against Burnley. Then that same night, he scored a hat-trick for Manchester City's under-23 side. Just a couple of days later, Palmer scored his first goal in the Champions League against Club Brugge. But despite these flashes of brilliance, Pep still didn't have faith in Palmer. While Palmer made 14 appearances in the Premier League in the 2022-2023 season, becoming a treble champion, he only played 358 minutes. He would often be subbed in the last minute of games, like when he played 2 minutes against Leeds and just 1 minute against Crystal Palace and Liverpool. Even for the England national team, he was only featured in 2 European qualifier matches, one against Malta where he only played 29 minutes, and then a 6-minute cameo against North Macedonia. Similar to his youth days, people weren't seeing the value that Palmer brought onto the pitch. With Mahrez going to Saudi Arabia in July of 2023, there was hope that Palmer would be the natural replacement for that right winger slot. He was quick, intelligent, with a magical left foot. He had shown flashes of the player he could be when he scored against Sevilla in the UEFA Super Cup and against Arsenal in the Community Shield. But Pep still didn't see his value, as he benched him in back-to-back games against Newcastle and Sheffield. Upset at the lack of opportunities and desperate for regular playing time, Palmer asked the club to loan him out. But they told him, you either go out on loan or you get sold.
My thing was to never leave City. That was not my intention. I wanted to go on loan for a year, come back and be ready for the first team. But they said I can't go on loan. Like, you either stay or you get sold.
Seeing an opportunity to take a gamble on a rising English star, Chelsea signed Palmer for £40 million.
Cole Palmer has now been confirmed as a Chelsea player.
An absolute bargain looking back at it now, and arguably the signing of the season for 2024. The club had spent billions before this, but still hadn't picked up a player who could be the face of the club. A player who could follow in the footsteps of Eden Hazard and Frank Lampard. At the time, nobody knew how good Palmer could be. Did he just look good because he was in Pep's Manchester City system? After all, if he was so good, why couldn't he break into the first team there?
Yeah, get rid of him. 40 million, unbelievable bargain.
All of these were questions and concerns that loomed over Palmer's head. The beginning of his Chelsea career was tough as he faced the same issues he tried to get away from at Manchester City. He was getting limited minutes and had no goals or assists to show in his first 4 appearances at Chelsea. But everything changed in the Burnley game. He scored and assisted in a 4-1 win. He scored from the penalty spot again in the following game to open the scoring against Arsenal. The 22-year-old was beginning to find his form as he got a goal and assist against another one of Chelsea's London rivals, Tottenham. He was in incredible form, but now would come across his biggest test yet, going head-to-head against his former club, Manchester City. In what many would consider the game of the season, Chelsea and City went back and forth scoring. City thought they had won the game after Rodri's strike took a deflection, but the match wasn't done. Ruben Dias gave away a penalty in stoppage time, and there was only one man who was going to take it. Only one man who would be willing to put the pressure on his shoulders. The man known as Cole Palmer for his coolness in big games slotted the penalty away. Not only had he salvaged a point for his new club, but he had also reminded his former club what a mistake they made getting rid of him. This was really the turning point for Palmer as he continued to get even better and better. He scored against Manchester United, then got a goal and assist against Sheffield. 2 goals and 1 assist against Luton, which included one of the best goals I've ever seen in a while. Whether he has played on the right wing or played centrally, Pochettino was able to get the best out of Palmer.
I think Palmer is a player that can come to play in the number 9. That maybe his best position is here. Him to give the freedom to be wide, to stay inside. We create some dynamics, for him to feel free. And every single situation he need to read.
His ability to score and create make him such a threat in the final attacking third. The composure Palmer has also shown for such a young player is incredible.
Plays with calmness all over the pitch.
In a team that lacks a true leader, he was one of the rare players to show maturity. Palmer's rise to superstar is even more impressive when you consider the history of attackers that joined Chelsea. Outside of Eden Hazard, not a single player has elevated his game at the club in the last 15 years. Werner, Havertz, Lukaku, Fernando Torres, all were exceptional attackers who really became a shadow of themselves after joining the London club. But not Palmer. If anything, Palmer looks to have been itching for an opportunity to showcase his talent. Now that he's getting regular first team football, we are seeing the rise of a new superstar to carry on the history of Chelsea. With better players around him, Palmer's life should get even easier. There's less of a need for him to carry the squad. With a player like Jadon Sancho in the squad, Palmer can get even more goals. To see how Sancho went from being labeled a reject to becoming Chelsea's newest star, you have to check out this video right here.